Hey guys, I'm back again with another gist. Thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. So I just want us to quickly see this video today. It is an interesting video. It is an interesting, a trending topic, literally, because I've seen multiple videos. People keep arguing. People keep, talking about it, giving their opinion, which I thought I should bring this video here. This man in this video talks about 50-50 dating. So as a man, you take a woman out on a date. Do you expect the woman to pay some part of the bill? Like literally, you asked her out. Let's go out on a date, right? So do you expect her to pay some part of the bill? I'm going to let this video roll so we all can hear what this man is saying in this video. Like I said, he talks about 50-50 dating. Stick around because I have some stitches I'm going to show you. Please check this video out.
Why does the mere suggestion of 50-50 dating trigger women all over the internet? Before y'all come at me, I do not practice nor preach 50-50 dating. I believe in traditional dynamics. I believe in a provider mindset. And I do believe that when you invite somebody out, the right thing to do is pay. I am curious about this topic because the 2 times that I've been dragged by thousands of women all over the internet has been at the mere suggestion of splitting the bill. I also once said that if you're expecting a certain dollar amount to be spent on you to be worth your time, you are entitled, and that broke the internet as well. So yeah, can anybody help explain why this conversation is so triggering? Because I've heard a lot of things, from reparations, which falls apart logically in my opinion, to stacking up personal expenses against another person's personal expenses, to a woman even saying, hey, look at me, I'm a big woman, so if you don't feed me, you're not worth my time. It seems to be a polarizing topic, so feel free to stitch this. The floor is yours.
It is the part that he said it triggers women for me. Okay, I just want to say this. Hear me out. Why would you expect a woman, a lady that you asked out on a date? Like you literally picked up your phone or you sent a message to her telling her that you would want to take her out on a date, and then you expect her to pay some part of the bills? Baby, please make it make sense, okay? Now, just for the records, I love paying my bills. I don't have any problem splitting the bills. Now, this is why I tell ladies, always go out on a date with some money, just not to face some kind of embarrassment. Of course, we have seen videos, okay? People, shouting, quarreling. Anyways, a lot of people stitched this video giving their opinion, which I have put those stitches together. Stick around, guys, because I'm going to show you his comment section. This is quite interesting. Please check the stitches out.
Why does the mere suggestion of 50-50 dating trigger women all over the internet?
The reason why I think so many women on the internet are triggered by the idea of going 50-50 is because we realize it's not a good deal and men know it's not a good deal. I actually did a video a couple of weeks ago about a man who was on live with a woman and she was like, I'll pay 100% of the bills. I just want you to cook, clean, and take care of the kids. And the man actually curled his lips to say, I no slave. Oh, so it's a slave? But men are trying to make women believe that that's a good deal for them. How is it a good deal when she's paying half the bills and doing all of the household duties and all you're paying is 50% of the bills? Even a roommate is expected to do more chores than that. Women are realizing more and more this deal only benefits men. Men want to pay 50% of the bills and they also want king treatment. They're talking about submission and wanting to be catered to. And women are saying, I already pay 100% of the bills right now and I'm calling 100% of the shots. I already pay my own rent, my own mortgage and all that. Why should I be impressed by your 50% of bill money?
Why does the mere suggestion of 50-50 dating trigger women all over the internet?
Simple. We don't live in a 50-50 society. We don't live in a society where women are treated equally to men. And when men talk about 50-50 dating, they're not talking about equality in the relationship. They're not talking about equal effort, time, and energy. They're literally just talking about the financial aspects, splitting the bill. So because that's all they care about, let's focus on that. Let's talk about the gender wage gap. On average, Asian women make 75 cents to the dollar a man makes. 73 cents for white women. Black women make 58 cents. Native American women make 50. Latinas make 49 cents. And yes, there is a wage gap for men based on race, but it's not nearly as wide as it is for women. So right out of the gate, strip everything away and just look at the financial aspects. Women are making less than than men. So why should we go 50-50? And why are these men who are so passionate about equality for women not out in the streets marching for women's equal pay, lobbying Congress to pay us what we're worth? Why aren't those men signing up for 50% of the domestic labor in their households, 50% of the child care, 50% of the emotional labor in the relationship? Why is it you only want equality when it comes at our expense?
Why does the mere suggestion of 50-50 dating trigger women all over the internet?
Because it's one and I just woke up, I will answer this one. It's because mostly it's not actually ever 50-50. When a man says 50-50, he means he wants to contribute what he thinks is 50%, and then you do the rest, which is usually like 20%, and then the 80% is left with the woman. But even beyond that, right, I think it's kind of weird to ask a woman to contribute equally to a relationship when she's getting less out of it than you are. Like, statistically speaking, men benefit more from relationships and marriage than women do. Whereas being in a relationship or marriage can actually be harmful to a woman more. And I don't even mean like abuse, I mean like just more stress, like having too much to do, responsibilities, blah, 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 blah. So to ask for 50-50 is like asking someone to split the bill after you've got like a 5-course meal and they got like 3 drinks. Although I feel like a lot of people don't actually think about it that way, I don't know.
I think one of the reasons why it triggers women so much is that on paper, 50-50 sounds fair, but in actuality it isn't. A lot of the time when we're discussing the concept of being 50-50 in a relationship, it's built on the false perception that men and women are on an even playing field. And yes, while we do have a rise in women being entrepreneurs, being high earners, being independent, that's after centuries of women not being able to do that. So at the end of the day, there's still a big imbalance on opportunities and wealth and resources that men have over women. Disregarding the fact that women naturally have to pay more to take care of themselves because of the things that they go through that men don't, like pink taxes and all of the medical expenses that women have to go through for the procedures that their bodies undergo just naturally. Not only that, women have to pay a lot for cosmetics, and we can't act like living in this vain country that cosmetic work isn't important. As a man, all we got to do is get haircuts and shave and we're good. Women don't have that luxury. And now I get that we're living in a modern age where, you know, money is scarce and things are much more expensive now than ever. So I don't think it's unfair to ask women for help in terms of maintaining a household. But instead of talking about equality, we need to talk about equity. You see, I think the issue with 50-50 is that it stems from the same line of reasoning as separate but equal. And as minorities in the United States, we know that the concept of separate but equal sounds great on paper, but in practice, it's fucking terrible. Because you're saying that the people who historically didn't have as much as you are now responsible for the same things without having access to the same opportunity and resources that the other group has already had for centuries before them. So I think the concept of 50-50 dating is just something that a lot of people don't think about past finances. And even when they think about finances, they're not fully thinking about what they're asking for.
Why does the mere suggestion of 50-50 dating trigger women all over the internet?
First of all, you ain't shit. Why does it trigger women? It doesn't trigger anyone. You're just a cunt. Secondly, the reason why people are upset about 50-50 down the line is because it's unfair and inequitable. And you aren't original for this video. I have literally been interviewed on this topic. Google my handle in pay equity, all of these articles come up. Some random white woman even stole my tweet to write an article about it. We don't live in a society where gender and pay are equitable. We know women get paid less than men. Women of color even more so. So if partner A is making $75K and partner B is making $50, and they both have to put in $1.5K for each month's expenses, partner B is losing more of their money than partner A. That is not equal. Partner A is benefiting from this arrangement. The division of financial burden should be equitable, not equal, because we don't live in an equal society. It should always be income-based responsibility, regardless of gender.
Why does the mere suggestion of 50-50 dating trigger women all over the internet?
Already a lot of good answers out there, and I was talking about this recently because in Paris, people, the men usually pick up the check. But one thing I just really want to say is, like, part of the reason I get annoyed is because often I'm the person doing all the work on this date. I think that in general, women are not having a good time with you. So if you can't even pay for her freaking drink, she just wasted not only time, but also money. And I know they're going to be like, oh, women are bad dates too. Sure. But I would say like 90% of the time, if I've had a bad time on a date, I'm going to get a message later from somebody that's like, I had so much fun. They had fun because they had like somebody who was emotionally intelligent and thoughtful asking them questions and expressing genuine curiosity. And then while they asked me nothing about myself and had no interest in me as a human being, only as like a person to sit in that seat and keep them entertained for an hour. Like, if you're gonna make me pay to be bored, then what's the point? What is the point? Pay to be bored.
Why does the mere suggestion of 50-50 dating trigger women all over the internet?
What I'm about to say may be hard for some men to swallow, so buckle up. Now, I know when you're talking about 50-50, you're discussing finances, but when you remove finances from the conversation, heteronormative relationships have never been 50-50. Ever since the construct of the nuclear family was normalized, men went to work usually from 6 to maybe 12, maybe more hours a day. However, women's job begins when they wake up and it doesn't end until they go to sleep, with either 0 or very few breaks in between. Because if your job is to maintain the home and facets of home life, you can never leave work. Fast forward a couple decades, and now women are doing even more work than they used to do before because now most homes need 2 incomes in order to survive. Women are reluctant to go 50-50 because they've come to the realization that nowadays 50-50, even if it's just on finances, is really 90-10.
50-50 dating trigger women all over the internet.
Honestly, it's because when a lot of women hear 50-50, they only hear 50-50 when it comes to finances, not 50-50 when it comes to domestic labor, child rearing, or anything that has to do with the household. So when these women hear 50-50, they know they're only talking about their finances and they're going to be left holding the bag on everything else. So you can see why they could be like, this sounds like a raw deal. But hold on, though. If you are single right now or dating, this does not have to be your reality. You can absolutely use the relationships, the dynamics, and experiences of other people to craft a blueprint for what you want and what you don't want in a relationship. And use that blueprint to weed out people that won't be suitable long-term partners or have the conversations with the partners that you already have. Now, I never said this shit was 100% perfect because clearly there are women in marriages who were lied to. All I'm saying is don't be a self-fulfilling prophecy by saying that you're going to end up with this type of man when right now you have all the power to do what you can to try not to.
50-50 dating trigger women all over the internet.
When entering a new relationship, I think there has to be conversations about 2 subjects: boundaries and gender roles. The conversation about gender roles has to happen on whether or not you believe in traditional relationships and traditional gender roles, or you believe to be 50-50. And if it's 50-50, it has to be 50-50 across the board. 50-50 in paying the bills, 50-50 in cleaning the house, 50-50 in raising the children. I personally believe in traditional gender roles because I know that I have strengths that my husband doesn't, and he has strengths that I don't have. So we're a good combination. We're a good team. So he lets me do what I'm strong at, and I let him do what he's strong at. That's what works for us. But that was established right at the beginning. I think women are so hung up on the 50-50 because we know at home we're doing a lot more than 50-50. So pay my bill.
50-50 dating trigger women all over the internet.
I think if you view this question from a woman's perspective and put it in a historical context, it's actually a pretty easy answer to it. Like, historically, women have had the responsibility of 80% of what makes a relationship work. Like, if we keeping it 100, if we keeping it 100,000, actually, the only real burden that men have consistently had historically is the financial burden. In the last 10 years, women have got fed up with having to do 80% of the work and are like, hey, you take some of this. And instead of men seeing that as an effort by women to bring more equality to the relationship, men are seeing that as a lack of effort or a reach for superiority. So I feel like that's why women are upset about it. They're like, damn, I'm finally making headway on not having to take on 80% of responsibilities. And your response to that is to give me more responsibilities.
Wow. Okay. Like, seriously, I think it is very unfair to split the bill 50-50. Like, literally asking the woman to contribute like 50-50 with the man. It is quite unfair. I don't know why some men are emphasizing on this. Anyways, as usual, I took some screenshots of comments from his comment section so you guys can see what other people said about this video. Now, beside me are some of these comments. Please pause to read if you want to, and let me know your take. Let me know your opinion in the comment section. What do you all think about this video? Drop it in the comments, and don't forget to like this video, share, and subscribe. And as usual, I'm gonna see you all in my next video. Stay blessed. Bye.